Medical marijuana is a very controversial topic, both within households and within politics. Within households, it tends to be that if you agree with the usage of it, so does the family, and vice versa. However, within politics, it is all widely debated. Some states have legalized the use of it recreationally. 21 states have legalized the use of medical marijuana. Is there a difference? No, there's not. And I believe that it should remain illegal for the following reasons. There is no medical marijuana use, it is addictive, and it is still illegal at the federal level. First off, people who oppose my view believe that marijuana has medicinal value. They say that it is being tested, and to that point they are right, it is being tested. But they are wrong to the fact that it actually has medical use. The DEA has marijuana listed as a Schedule I drug, meaning that it has high abuse potential and zero medical use. To quote the DEA, it says, the DEA this month stated that it would not reschedule marijuana, but rather keep it on a Schedule I of the Controlled Substances Act, the category reserved for drugs that has high abuse potential and no medical use within the U.S. This shows the drug is not safe to use as it has zero medical use. In fact, some other drugs on Schedule I are heroin and meth, and those are some pretty serious drugs. Contained within marijuana, however, is CBD and THC. These are some main focuses of stuff within marijuana that actually might have medical use. CBD does not cause you to obtain a high, and it does not get you addicted, and it may actually help with epileptic seizures. There is a liquid medicine approved by the FDA that contains CBD. However, THC, which does cause you to obtain a high and does get you addicted, supposedly may help in pain and inflammation. However, there is still no FDA approved or governmental approved use of it. But, so taking a look at that, marijuana still has no medical use, but components of it may have a use. So now we will talk about addiction. To start, at least 30% of users become addicted to marijuana. Recent data shows that 30% of marijuana users will have marijuana use disorder. People who start to use it before the age of 18 have a 4 to 7 times higher chance of obtaining this disorder. So the younger you start, the more likely you are to get addicted. However, to get a medical prescription of marijuana, you have to be 18 years old. So people who like marijuana will say, I'm an adult, I have the choice to make the decision of whether or not I should be able to use marijuana. However, we all know that putting it in circulation will make it easier for people to obtain it. We all know that just because you have to be 18 doesn't mean that kids won't use it. I mean, within my school alone, 3 people have been expelled in the last year for using marijuana. So take a look at this. This paper here, I'm going to hand these out. This paper shows the percentage of students from ages 12 to 17 within all United States that use marijuana. All 21 states are at the top of the list that have approved medical marijuana. So once you start using it, you develop a dependency on it. And it affects your mood, your hunger, and your irritability. So if you try to if you try to stop using it, you will suffer from withdrawals. The reason this happens is because your brain adapts to large amounts of the drug by reducing production of of its own endocannabinoid neurotransmitters. Because you are using so much of it, your brain will stop producing what you need, and it will depend more on the drug, which makes you want to smoke it more. So, marijuana is addictive, and the levels of THC within it are rising in potency. It used to be that the potency used to be 50%, however it is now 50% within recent samples. So finally, we will talk about the fact that medical marijuana is still illegal at the federal level. So it is legal in a couple states, right? However, the federal government still views it as not legal. We can all just smoke it and get high together, right? And we can keep testing it and use it for medical use. But we can't, actually. Under the federal government, we would all get arrested. And this doesn't make sense. How can states go against the federal government? Well, they shouldn't be able to, in my opinion. So, John Wiley, a publisher of an academic journal against the use of medical marijuana, said the federal government regulates drugs through the Controlled Substances Act, which does not recognize the difference between medical and recreational use of marijuana. So, it's not legal. Plus, if you are caught with it, there are often steep punishments. A fine or jail time, a mandatory testing, drug awareness classes, and electronic monitoring. And if you are caught, you are charged with a federal offense instead of a misdemeanor because it is illegal at the federal level. So, and plus, if you're going to go to court for getting caught with possession of it, you cannot use the fact that you were using it as a medicinal use because it is not permissible in court. So in conclusion, I believe that marijuana is a very dangerous drug, and all types of people get caught up with it, from school children to even adults. And putting more of it into circulation will only make it worse for the people of the United States, and especially for the kids. So you gotta tell me, if you have kids, or you want kids, do you want them to be able to have marijuana? I don't think so.